Um, Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 3. Uh, this is Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. So, I am Mahadevaya from Government SKSJTI, Bangalore. So, continuing with engineering graphics, this is the third session. So, I think you are getting excited to know more about this engineering graphics. So we try to learn more out of that. Of course, we last class I discussed with Solid Edge software. So you have understood. I hope the entire interface, user interface of that, and where the commands are available in the ribbon bar, and then how they are partitioned into different groups, and then now whatever the theory, it's of no use unless you practically use it. So today we are going to do that. So you see that what is the coordinate system and the axis. You know that the horizontal edge is always x-axis and the vertical edge of the sheet is always y-axis, and of course z is pointing towards us. Of course, basically it will be in three-dimensional environment, but what you look at, because it's a 2D software, so the visualization always will be in 3D, and but what you see here is nothing but the top view, nothing but the plan of the drawing sheet. Just like you are looking at the drawing sheet on a table, mounted on a table or kept on a table, so the working table. So that is the idea behind the scene. Of course, there will be a software camera behind the scene. Normally, we don't focus on such terms. So understand the coordinate system and axis. So coordinate system I have already told you. So it can be absolute or relative as and when it is required. It will be invoked automatically when we are trying to use that kind of axis coordinate system. And axis I have told you already. And then creating points and lines and something like polylines, how to do that. So let us switch over to solid edge itself, and this is the screen what you see as the solid edge screen. And you know that the sheet is already there. It is set up for as a blank sheet and A4 size. So let us start executing the command. How to put a point? Can we put a point? First of all, that is the fundamental question you require. So you know that this is the mouse pointer having an arrowhead with a circle, small circle, indicate that you are in selection mode. So that means whatever the graphics you draw over here, so can be selected by just by clicking on it directly, or probably creating a window like that. So from top left corner to bottom right corner will give you one kind of selection mode, and from bottom to top so will give you another mode, that is called crossing, and this is called a window mode. So anyway, you will understand later so how to select that. So you can see here the algorithm that is being applied over here, how to select a particular inside. That means whatever the entity I have, I mean like this for example, I have drawn like that. So this is a draw mode. You can see the cursor. Now it is no more the pointer, but instead of a crosshair, a small plus mark. So by pressing escape on the keyboard, so you see that the command will be exited. So now you are in the, again back to selection mode, and if you create like this, automatically it gets selected. When any entity is selected, you can see it is highlighted with a pink color. And then if you just hover the mouse over it, you can see it becomes reddish. So that means it is on the focus. So the every instance, every action on the screen, so will have a definite meaning. You must be carefully observing that it is not simply executing some commands or creating something like that. And then this is the inside mode. That means whatever that lies inside will get selected. Suppose if you change it to outside, and then if you try to select, it will never get selected because outside this window what I am creating. So how to create this? You have to press and move the mouse pointer. You have to hold down the left mouse button and then leave the other end point diagonally opposite the end point. That is what we say click and drag, and then leave it. So this is a very practical one, and you should be able to understand these nuances of dealing with a CAD system. Anyway, so all the commands are available in the home tab and as a ribbon strip. So because you can actually go on adding the commands, that is why it gets expanded as more and more commands are added or deleted. So it will expand or it will contrast. So that is why it's called as a ribbon bar. So you see draw section wherein there is a line command, and under that there is a small triangular button, down button. So if you click over there, you have a lot of other thing. First one is line, and then point, and then, so let us take a point. So before we do that, we can select this and then delete, and then just select the point and click. Now we are in draw mode. Even if you want, this is like exactly in real world taking a pencil and then be ready to put a point on the sheet. So how wonderful it is. So you put a point. So but you may not be able to see, but I have already put 3 points. Press escape to cancel the draw point mode and then create a window. Now you can see that select a single point. You can see that it is being selected. Now it is very clearly visible, and also it indicates the coordinates. You can see here. Suppose if you press x coordinate as 0 and then press tab and then y coordinate as another 0, you can see it has been moved to the bottom corner. Can you see that? So the point is located here. That means the coordinate system whose origin is at the lower left corner. So that is where the bottom edge will indicate the x axis direction, and the vertical edge indicate the y axis direction. And of course z is pointing towards us, and that is how we can put a point anywhere on the sheet. And of course you can actually access those points by various method, by snapping method. Anyway, I will talk to you about that later. And then let us try to draw a line, using line command. So this will allow a series of segments, of course straight lines, not the curved line. So as you go on picking, you can see that horizontal and vertical. You can see a tooltip just indicating next to the cursor over here. Suppose you want to create something, an angular line, you can actually draw at any angle, and then you can also go and pick the end point of the line. You can see a tooltip coming over there. So that is the end point of the line. So that means already the first line. So I am trying to pick up the very start point of the line. When I click, you can see the command gets terminated because it understands that it's a closed side of the polygon. So that is the nature of the thing. So when I select everything, entire thing, so there are 3 different parameters. So when you draw, manually you will decide whether you want to draw a thick line or a thin line or a dashed line, whatever the type of the line and how thick or thin, you can decide. Based on that, you have to pick up a pencil, either H or B, or even HB. If you are very dexterous with your hand, you can draw with the same pencil, HB pencil, you can draw thin line or thick line. Everything your brain supports in doing so. And if you are familiar with the environment and how to draw, the action what you are performing will be wonderful. But in CAD system, you can set whatever you want. For example, if I have to select this line, I can select by picking up that using the mouse pointer, and then go over here, and then I can change the color of the line. You can see here. Now you can zoom in. How to zoom in? The scroll button and the control button. So just move the mouse in and out, or a little bit forward and backward. You can see it can be moved, or it can be zoomed in and zoomed out. So, and similarly, you can also select another line and make the color something different like that. So that means you can set the parameter of the entities drawn, whatever it might be. So you can simply change the color. You can need not be just the color. You can also change the line type. So let me change to some other type, chain line, like that. So even let me change the thickness of the line. So there are already standard values as per the ANSI standard, American National Standard Institute, or probably the ISO, International Standard Organization. We use these 2 standards very often, and I suggest you to adopt ANSI standard. Of course, we can also use a BIS standard, a Bureau of Indian Standards, all our drawing has to be carried out using BIS standard. I will tell you what are the attributes of the entities in probably the next slide or the next session. So we'll see here. So anyway, I will tell you the if it has to be thin line, what we use as 0.05. Of course, 0.05 is sufficient for A4 size. If you are using A2 or A0 size, probably it can be 0.1 or zero point 0.2, something like that. So when you pick up this, you can see there is a lot of difference between this line and the other line. You can see the thickness difference. This is thick line and this is thin line. So you can make out, and when you, the beauty of this software is when you take out the printout, this is actually what you see is what you get. So that means exactly it prints on the hard copy. And vice versa, that is what we popularly in computing terminology, what you see is what you get. At the same time, so whatever the parameter that has been set, this is as a thin line, it is visible directly. But in some other CAD software like AutoCAD, it may not be. Probably the latest version might have incorporated that kind of feature. Anyway, so if you want to make it very thick, you can say you can take it as a 0.2. I mean the point size is 2. Like that, if you want to make it a thick line, for all our drawing, it is 0.4. Okay, what is that? 0.4. So a thick line is always 0.4. A thin line is always 0.05. And then sometimes an XY line so can be 0.15 or probably 0.2. So these are the three the sizes which you need to remember. What is that? 0.05 for the thin line and 0.4 for the thick line, and then 0.15 or 0.18 whatever it is. So somewhere in between 0.15 to 0.2 can be termed used for other lines like XY line, X dash Y dash line. Lot of axis indication lines will come. You can use those dimensions, but it should be standardized. Whatever you use as per the standard. Without standard, you can't draw anything. Okay, so this is how you can draw lines. Let me when I invoke, I can set the black as the color, and then continuous as the line type, and then 0.4 as the visible edges for all visible edges. Let me create something. What shall I do? So shall I create something as for example the square. So how to create a square? So you know the properties of the square. All sides are equal, and the angle between adjacent sides should be 90 degree. So you can simply start picking anywhere. So you will see the great advantage of using a CAD system. So when I pick, automatically it will allow whatever the line. You can see here it is being highlighted over here. So if the length of the line is 30, and then press tab, and then 0 degree. So always 0 degree, you must be able to understand 0 degree is towards 3 o'clock, and 90 degree is at 12 o'clock, and then 180 is 9 o'clock. That means we are actually measuring the anti-clockwise direction. This is very, very fundamental. So, and you can see that it is already drawn. Okay, it has already drawn this horizontal line of 30 mm and at 0 degree. I want to go up. So you can see the length of the line. So I can type 30, okay, using keyboard, and then press tab, go to angle. So it is already showing 90 degree because it understands that you want to draw a vertical line. You need not type once again, you simply press enter. And then similarly you move towards it. To understand the line, if you forget about the angles, you can simply start experimenting with this. You can see now it is moving from right to left towards 9 o'clock. And the starting point of any entity, any line will be at the center of the clock. And if you move towards 9 o'clock, it will be 180 degree. If you move towards right, that is 3 o'clock, it is 0 degree. But always you will consider yourself the existing point or the current point at 0 degree. I mean the center of this clock. So that is the angle clock what we assume. So it's an imaginary, but it works like that. So another 30, and then press tab or enter, and then angle is 180 degrees, simply press enter. And you can also go and pick So you can see the angle is minus 90 degree, because it is easy to measure from, I mean, in clockwise direction. That means there is no hard and fast rule. You have to always measure clockwise or anti-clockwise, but it is default in any CAD system that the angles are measured in anti-clockwise direction. Now, how shall I know that this is exactly 30 mm and the angle is 90 degree? You can go to Smart Dimension. You just click, invoke that. You can see this context sensitive menu is totally now in a new avatar. So now, how to dimension? Click on any entity and simply drag and drop over at a particular distance. This will be normally 10 mm. And similarly, you can also drag and drop. But you can see here, this is following a particular kind of system. What is the system? Just click on the dimensioning. You can see ISO here. So this is the International Standard Organization. But I am not interested. I can click both of them using shift and click on left mouse button and change it to ANSI mm. So you can see this is unidirectional system. Later we cover up this in dimensioning system. So this is, we are done with this. And of course, you can also show the angle between them. There is another sub command called angle between. You select the two adjacent entities and you can see that angle between them. Of course, you can name A, B, C, D. For that, you can use text. So you can put A. Of course, for that, you can set Times New Roman as the font. This is a very important thing. And the font size is 3, and then italics. So these are the attributes of the font. Please always remember that. And you have to use only lowercase characters. And always you have to start with on the left bottom corner if it is available, or anywhere from the left point you have to start with, and then go in anti-clockwise direction. Most of the things we do in anti-clockwise direction. That is the default nature of the any CAD system. So A, B, C, D, and we are done with that. And if you want to say what is this all about, this is a square of 30, square of side 30, where the side AB is horizontal. That means you can annotate like this. So it is possible to keep it anywhere, whether you want to keep it top or bottom or even sideways. So normally we keep it on the bottom side. And you zoom out and you see that somewhere I have created, but you can select everything. You can, you know how to select, and then you can reorient or reposition your drawing. That is the beauty. Okay. Now, how to draw? A square at 45 degree. These are fundamental. What I am teaching now will be very useful in later in projection of plane surfaces. So otherwise we won't be teaching you for that. So now how to create that? So you simply create what you want, like creating a square at normal condition. But instead of line, can I use some other command? I can always use some other command like rectangle by 3-point methods. Because in rectangle, if you make both the sides are equal, adjacent sides are equal, then it will become automatically rectangle. I mean, not a rectangle but a square. Okay, so the width is 30, as well as you make it height is also 30, and now you see that it is already there. But you can pick any point and the angle, so we can actually enter 45 degree instead of 0 degree. So now you can see that it is so beautiful that we can achieve with minimal commands. So we can draw. So now how to show the angle between these two lines, and we can make it 0.05. Any construction line for that sake has to be, so the angle between one of the edge and we can say that this is 45. So by default, so we have to pick up what is called as ANSI mm. So can you see this? So this is wonderful. Okay. So this is how we can start drawing. So I will quickly show you how to create a pentagon and how to create circle is very easiest one. You pick up, of course there are other methods. I will teach you all those things in the lab session. And circle by center point method, you can pick up anything and then enter simply diameter, say 40, and press escape. Of course it will continue to allow you to or create several circles. And let me pick up ANSI mm and show the dia as 40. Can you see that? Similarly, you can also draw arc by center point method. So you can pick up the radius, say 30 mm, and then you can also whatever the sweep angle. So you can see this is the angle, say 145 degrees. So automatically either you can draw with respect to horizontal above or below, you can pick up the other one like that. So this is an arc of radius 30, but subtending an angle of 145 degree. So that's how you can draw the basic entities. Of course, let me show you how to create a pentagon or hexagon, which is nothing but a polygon. Let me move out these things to some other location, and then pick up the line command, and then go to a blank space. So line. Okay, how to draw any polygon? I will give you a hint. The formula is 360 degree by n, that is number of sides. Suppose n is equal to 5, it will get you the pentagon, that is nothing but 72 degree. This is the exterior angle created by any side. So with respect to the other, the horizontal. Anyway, so let me start with 30 mm as the side, and the angle initially at 0 degree, and then again 30, and then say 72 degree. And then there are various ways. I am teaching you one of the methodology. So now you add 72 plus 72, that is 144. So just a minute. Okay, so pick a line, and then yeah, okay, something happens like this. So you need not actually fear about these things. You can start from where you have left out. So this is again 32, and then 72 degree. 30 mm and 72 degree, and again 30 is the length, and then 144, 72 plus 72 is 144. And you can see if you can continue to draw, you can add 72 to 144, and then again you can add one more 72 like that until you get all the 5 sides. But you need not. I will show you. So this is actually symmetrical about this vertical axis. So you select these two axes and go to a command called mirror. So and then mirror. So you have to define the edge of the mirror. So I will pick up the one of the end point of this, and then pick up the midpoint of this. You can see the pentagon is already done. So this is so wonderful. Of course, you can name A, B, C, D, E like that, and then show the angle. And if you want to check out the angle, you can actually the exterior angle, of course, is 72. Interior angle will be 108. Anyway, so you can also even show a dimension. The edge, one of the edge can be dimensioned. You need not dimension everything. That is the default. Suppose you want to select everything, okay, and then you want to make a copy. So you need not do once again all this stuff. Simply hold down the control, select the entity. The entire pentagon has been selected. Hold the control, and then when you move near the pentagon, you can see plus mark. That means it is in copy mode. Drag and drop. That's all. So now you want to rotate. So that one of the edge is at 90 degree, because this is very important. So you go to move command. There is a rotate command, and you can pick up the point from which you want to rotate and what you want to rotate. That means you want to bring down this another end of the line. So like that. Once it is vertical, you can click. But the problem is this should be turned off. Otherwise, it will create another copy. I don't want another copy. So you click now. So you see that now one of the side is vertical. This is how you can create. So let me move on to hexagon. How to create hexagon? Of course, 360 divided by 6, nothing but 60 degrees. So 30 is the length of the line, and then at an angle 0 degree, and then 30 is the length of the line, and then 60 is the angle by the second edge, and again 30 is the length, and of course now you can say that it is 120. Okay, another 30, and then 120 by 60 plus 60 is 180. 180. So you should apply your mind while creating. Just press escape. Do the same thing as we did in case of pentagon, and then go for mirror, and then pick up the midpoint. Of course, it indicates by an object snap. So you can see here. So this is, of course, we can actually even move it out and then keep it outside it, which is not possible in a real world scenario. So this is one of the side is horizontal. How do I make one of the side vertical, one of the side at some angle? So I just copy and drag and drop, control drag and drop, you holding down the left mouse button. Of course you can select this, you can do the same thing like rotate, and one of the pick one of the end point of the line, horizontal line, and another end point. Either you can move it up or you move it down. When it's vertical you can click and you can keep it. Now similarly select the other one and invoke the rotate command, and you pick up this, and now this is the angle. So what is the angle? So you can say 15 degree. Okay, position you need not worry about that. So that you have to click with these dotted line indicate that this is exactly fixed at that particular angle 15 degree. You can click it using the left mouse button. You can see that this will be at a particular angle. So let me show you that this angle is exactly 15 degrees. Can you see that? So this is 15 degree. So if you select the ANSI you can see, can you see that this is 15 degree. So this is how to draw the basic entities. I mean all geometrical entities. I have shown you how to draw. Of course a few commands are left out. Anyway, I will show you while explaining some other thing. We move on to this slide, move, copy, offset, etc. I have already shown you how to move, how to copy. Offset and or extend or chamfer or fillet I will show you with the existing entities only. So the relationship and dimensioning can be actually learnt while creating the real while solving the real problems. So how to chamfer a particular, there is a command called chamfer or fillet. You can go for fillet. Okay, so how to fillet? Fillet the radius say 5 mm, and when you hit enter it will allow you to pick two adjacent edges. You can see this, you can actually round off. Rounding off is called as the filleting. Let me enter some other value like 10 and pick up these two. So you can see that this is more having a curvature. So why this is needed in real world? Because so we need to actually, we should not have any sharp edges in the real world object, because humans always encounter such sharp objects. Probably that may be detrimental to human being. It may injure the human being. That is why we need to fillet. So the other kind of taking out the sharp corner is probably the chamfering. What is that chamfering? Chamfering is nothing but creating another surface. So we will see here. Let me remove this dimensioning because it may not clearly give you an idea about what I am actually doing. So you just go to the same command location where the fillet is available. Chamfer is having two distances. Angle don't enter. So just go to setback A. So you set some value like 15 and then set the other value also 15. That means equal. What is that? From point C on the horizontal line or the vertical line, you measure 15 mm and get those 2 points and join by another line. That will be the new surface being created, and it will remove, say on horizontal line point number 1 and vertical line point number 2. 1 and 2 will be joined, and then the C will be removed. So let me show you. Pick this horizontal line and pick this vertical line. Can you see that? So this is point A and point B. You can actually interchange. So when the values are different, it makes a sense. Now move the mouse pointer to this indicating line and click somewhere here. You can see the point C, the corner is removed. So the idea of filleting or the chamfer is removal of the corner. Okay. So this is how you can do that. I think this is enough for the day. So if there are any left out commands, we will practice that in probably the next session. So of course I have done all these things, square 30 mm horizontally and inclined, and regular pentagon, hexagon, circle, arc, everything I have done. One thing I have not done, I have not divided the circle as well as arc into 12 and 4 equal parts. So of course, dimensioning is left out. We will take up, probably the time is running out. And the dimensioning, of course, unidirectional and aligned system. I have already indicated that unidirectional is ANSI and the aligned system of dimensioning. What exactly is dimensioning, how to identify unidirectional and aligned system, and in a CAD system, this is manually. Okay, this is in a real world on a sheet of paper. But in a CAD system, it is not mentioned as unidirectional aligned system, but is always mentioned as ANSI MM or the ISO. So I think we are come to the end of this session, and thank you for attending this session. I hope you learnt a lot, and of course you need to practice and do it in the lab. And I thank my authorities from my college as well as from the department and the LMS system for giving me this opportunity to share this knowledge in this session. Thank you one and all.